అసలు లేదు. పుస్తకం అయితే దగ్గర, అది మీరు ఎక్కడ పెట్టండి, దూరం పెట్టినా ఓకే నాకు.
హరే కృష్ణ హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ్ హరే రామ్ 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 హరే హరే. So welcome to the Sunday Peace program. I'm 100% sure this hall is going to be filled with another 200 devotees. Just a matter of time. So please don't leave any space. Try to be here. We want to make sure that nobody stands outside. They get some space inside. You know. So try to come as close as you can and try to make space. Don't leave any empty gaps. So today we are going to continue our very important topic that Prabhuji started last week. What was the topic? Does anyone remember? Why difficulty in chanting? So last session was very interesting, and I'd also like to welcome Sukirti Radha Mataji. She has gone and conducted a yatra in Vrindavan and she has just landed. We all know the Suma Mataji. So it is not an ordinary thing, to take so many devotees, go stay there for a week, showing them dhams one by one, and yet taking care of so many responsibilities. Thank you, Mataji, for your wonderful service to Srila Prabhupada. Let us thank Mataji. 3 round Haribo. Hare Krishna. So without any more delay, we are starting today's session. Let us welcome Prabhuji with 3 round Haribo. Prabhuji, let me also say, Prabhuji has told, I never counted. Prabhuji also didn't mean to count, but 36 lectures in the last 7 days. 7 or 8 days.
Since I came here.
Don't have too much. That can be taken other way also. Too much we are trying to stretch Prabhuji to the lectures, but yeah, maybe next time we'll plan a little better. So, but this lecture is very important. Sunday Peace lecture, and that too on chanting. So let's be very attentive, keep all our mobiles off, and let's focus on the lecture now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Volume. Hare Krishna.
Main volume. Master, yeah.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktarinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees at the Bhakti Center. Last week we met and discussed this topic, what is the difficulty in chanting. How many of you were there last Sunday here? Okay, better I ask, how many of you were not there last Sunday? Oh, quite a substantial crowd. Okay. Anyways, your understanding of today's session may not depend completely on what we discussed before. It can still be understood. So last time we discussed some glories of the holy name of Krishna, and we also discussed how a struggling sadhaka often faces a lot of difficulty in chanting Krishna's names, although it is supposed to be the easiest spiritual activity. When you are serving the Lord, whether cooking or worshipping the deities or serving prasadam or distributing books or cleaning the vessels, deity paraphernalia, whatever you may be doing, there is some difficulty. It's sometimes intense difficulty also. And when you take studying the Shastra, that is also equally difficult. So much of philosophy, so much of analysis, so many shlokas, you need to remember many things, that's also difficult. So there is difficulty in services, difficulty in understanding Shastra, but relatively speaking, in chanting, there should not be any difficulty. You are just picking up a bead bag, not so heavy, hopefully. How heavy is the bead bag? Maybe lighter than your phone, right? We are in this posture. How many hours in a day?
60.
And we are in this posture, 1.5 2 hours. So this posture is more than this posture, right? So it's not supposed to be so heavy. And only one mantra. Only one mantra you are chanting so many times. And in that mantra also only 3 names are getting repeated. Hare Krishna, Ram, that's all. Nothing more. Still, there is a lot of difficulty. So what is the difficulty in chanting? Services are supposed to be more difficult than chanting. Understanding Shastra is supposed to be more difficult than chanting. But why we consider or why we experience chanting most difficult compared to many other realms of bhakti? The answer is many answers. We have expressed so many difficulties. I think we listed 20. Where is that devotee who made that list? He is not there? He got scared. One devotee wrote all the 20 difficulties expressed by all of you, right? Anyone else has written those difficulties? You wrote? Okay. So we discussed one by one. We'll discuss many of them, many more of them. And maybe in 1 week you must have discovered more difficulties than we listed that day. But let's begin with a positive note. Let's not discuss about difficulty. Let's discuss about a responsibility and excitement. Beautiful shloka. Vepante duritani moha mahima sammohamalambate. 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 Satankam nakharanjanim kalayati Shri Chitraguptah kritim. 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 Sanandam madhuparka sambriti vidhao vedha karotyudyamam. Sanandam madhuparka sambriti vidhao vedha karotyudyamam. Bhaktum namita vishwarabhilashite brumah kim anyat param. Bhaktum namita vishwarabhilashite brumah kim anyat param. Vepante duritani. When you chant the names of Krishna, what happens? Vepante duritani, all the sins will run away in fear. They tremble in fear. They become very perturbed in fear. So sins will fly away when you chant the names of the Lord. It is also said that when you are chanting, when you are participating in Harinam Sankirtan, if you clap, just like when you clap, the birds on the tree just disperse, they fly away. Similarly, the sins in our mind also will fly away when you clap during the kirtan, Harinam Sankirtan. That is this Vepante Duritani. Moha Mahima Sammoha Malambate. Moha Mahima. You know what is Moha? Illusion. Moha Mahima means the glory of illusion, the glorious material illusion. Moha Mahima Sammoha Malambate. That illusion, the great glorious illusion will faint when you chant. Means illusion will be driven away when you chant the names of the Lord. Sins will go away, illusion will go away. Then Sri Chitragupta Kriti. Chitragupta is maintaining our records of all our sinful activities. He'll feel relieved. He'll completely feel relieved that I don't have to maintain the records of this fellow anymore. Why? He picked the bead bag. I can delete his data. He need not come to hell. So you need not go to hell. You need not even take darshan of hell also when you chant the names of the Lord. You are not qualified to go to hell when you chant the names of the Lord. Anyone interested, curious to see hell? Then please don't chant. If you have any interest to see how hell looks like, just give up your bead bag. But if you want to avoid hell, then you can pick up bead bag. And avoiding hell is an insignificant byproduct of chanting the names of the Lord. Sri Chitragupta Kriti Satankam Nakharanjanim Kalayati. See, Chitragupta becomes very happy, and you know what he does? He looks at your toenails with respect and with reverence. Your toenails will appear like moon, and he feels that moon-like effulgence is emanating from your toenails when you are chanting the names of the Lord. Chitragupta will offer obeisances to you. Don't chant it to get Chitragupta fall at your feet. That's not the mood. But Chitragupta feels so grateful to you because he gets exhausted, Prabhu. He gets very tired with maintaining records of all the sinful activities done by so many sinful people. How many? And most people are sinful only in this material world. That in Kali Yuga, he is dying overtime. Thank God, Kali Yuga is only 1/4 of the previous Yuga, 1/4 of the Satya Yuga. But Chitragupta is doing overtime in this Kali Yuga. When you chant the names of the Lord, when you inspire 10 other people, 100 other people to chant the names of the Lord, Chitragupta feels so relieved. He feels, my God, my burden is lessened. Sanandam madhuparka sambriti vidhaho vedah karotyudyamam. Even Brahma, he picks up a arti plate and he starts doing arti to you. Thank you so much, my dear Prabhu, for chanting. You are chanting, I am doing this arti to you. I am very, very grateful to you. He gets madhuparka also. Not just lamp. You know madhuparka? The combination of that milk and honey, etc. So he offers madhuparka to you. If you want madhuparka, chant. If you want madhuparka from Brahma, please chant. Vaktum namnita veshware dhilashite. So when someone desires to chant the name of the Lord, these are the effects. Brahma becomes happy, Chitragupta becomes happy, sins run away, and material illusion goes away. What else do you want? What can we say? So we just need to understand the importance and the glory of chanting the names of the Lord. Now what's the difficulty now? We are remembering glory after glory. Hundreds of shlokas describing the glories of Krishna's names. What's the difficulty? One difficulty is lack of desperateness. We are not desperate. We are casual. I'm not talking about you, but at least I am not sufficiently desperate. There is casualty in chanting. Holy name is always with us only. Desperation should be there. Helplessness should be there. Emergency mode should be there. When Dushyasan came and caught the sari of Mother Draupadi, and before catching the sari, he caught the hair of Mother Draupadi, dragged her to this assembly. Then he pulled her sari. How desperate she must be. That too publicly he is doing it. How desperate she must be. In the desperation she chanted, Govinda Damodara Madhava Agre Kuruna Matha Pandavanam दुःशासनेन हृतवस्त्रकेश कृष्ण तदाक्रोशदनन्यनाथ गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. You also recite अग्रे कुरुणाम् अथ पाण्डवानाम् दुःशासनेन हृतवस्त्रकेश कृष्ण तदाक्रोशदनन्यनाथ गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. Agre Kurunam Atha Pandavanam. Right in front of. Agre means right in front of Kurus and Pandavas. What did this Dushyasan do? Hrita Vastra Kesha. Hrita means he caught Vastra, the cloths of Mother Devaki. Kesha, also the hairs of Mother Devaki. Draupadi. Then Draupadi is completely desperate. Then she said, Krishna tadakroshadananyanatha. Akrosha means she is desperately crying. Desperateness is there. Ananyanatha. I don't have any other natha. I don't have any other master. There are 5 nathas. But she says Ananyanatha. Oh Krishna, my 5 nathas. Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul, Sahadev. Greatest warriors of the time. They are sitting there like slaves, having no power. They have physical strength, but somehow they are constrained. They cannot protect Draupadi. And Bhishma is there, Drona is there, and the main king Dhritarashtra, blind person sitting on the throne. Nobody came to rescue her. Everybody has their own obligations, their own difficulties, their own terms and conditions. Yes, I like to serve, I like to help her, but I am obliged here. What's the point of what's the point of being bound by hundreds of obligations if you can't help a helpless lady? But everybody has their own dharma. No, being obedient to the throne of Hastinapur is my dharma, Bhishma says. We are slaves, Pandavas are saying. Dronacharya says, no, if I say anything against Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan, they will disown Ashwatthama. I have to maintain Ashwatthama. Everybody has their own reasons, hundreds of reasons. Nobody is coming to help. Then she said, Krishna tadakrosha dananyanatha. Akrosha, desperately she is crying. Ananyanatha, oh Lord, I don't have any other natha. You are my natha. You are my master. You are my protector. You are the only protector. In this mood she is saying, Govinda Damodara Madhaviti. She is chanting the names of the Lord. Oh Govinda, oh Damodara, oh Madhava, protect me. Whether we realize it or not, there are so many Dushasans who are catching our clothes and hair. We don't have hair, but still there is some shikha, some hair. So what is that? Hair and vastra, basically, our mind is stolen away by Maya. Our heart is stolen away by Maya. Our attention, our concentration, our aspirations, our goals, our desires are completely influenced by Maya. We are not realizing only Maya. You are taking away my attention. You are taking away my time. You are taking away my concentration. Okay, take. Fine. I am opening the doors. Take away all my property. But this property is meant for Krishna. We are supposed to protect and save our concentration, our attention, whatever we have for Krishna's service, and we are allowing Maya to come and steal. And no desperation. Generally, when a thief enters the house, we should desperately cry, thief, 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 please come and save me. Bachao, bachao. We should say that.
We are not seeing. Maya is entering our heart and stealing away our attention, stealing away our consciousness. And we are happily opening the doors and say, Maya, come, steal. When Maya comes, we should say, Krishna, Govinda, Damodara. We should say it. Hare Krishna, we should chant. But the desperation is not there. We are not being desperate. Lack of desperation
is the greatest difficulty in chanting.
When we don't feel desperate, when we don't feel helpless, when we don't feel that I am not in the right place, you don't feel like chanting. You know why the people in previous yugas can't accept chanting the names of Krishna as Yuga Dharma? They can't accept. People in the other yugas, they feel that chanting will give you liberation. Chanting Hare Krishna, that too. Not even some elaborate 1 kilometer long mantras, just chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will take me to the spiritual world. I can't believe. Why the people of the previous yugas can't believe that? The answer is, they feel it's below their dignity to chant the names of the Lord. We are more qualified. We are more qualified. They feel that we can memorize 1 kilometer long mantras. We can perform 1-year-old sacrifices. We can do 60,000 years of meditation, even underwater. We can take breakfast today. We can take lunch after 10,000 years. We have that sensual strength. We have that mental strength. We have that physical strength. We have mind control. We have sense control. We have good health. We have good atmosphere. We have good food to eat. They don't feel the desperation to get out of this material world. But Kali Yuga people, in Kali Yuga, you can become more desperate to get out of this material world than in other yugas. You are very fortunate to take birth in Kali Yuga. If you had taken birth in Dwapar Yuga or Treta Yuga or Satya Yuga, you would not feel the same desperation that we have currently to chant the names of the Lord. Still we are not taking that advantage of Kali Yuga atmosphere. Probably because Kali Yuga is in its infancy state. It's 5,000 years, right? There is 4,27,000 years more. Probably if we take birth after 1 lakh years or 2 lakh years, we could become more desperate. You want to wait? You have to preach, Prabhu.
No, this class is good.
Gachibowli will become Pichibowli, then you have to preach again. It's already Pichibowli. So, better we become desperate now. If we wait to become more desperate, when Kali Yuga increases its temperature more and more and more, already it's too much temperature, we are unable to tolerate the heat. As Kali Yuga progresses, the temperature of not this temperature, the temperature of adharma will increase. The temperature of cruelty will increase. The temperature of dishonesty will increase. The temperature of exploitation will increase. Then we'll become more desperate, isn't it? Better we become desperate now only. So, in an emergency situation, we become more attentive. Because that emergency situation is not there, a sense of material security is there, a sense of material prosperity and things are comfortable. Therefore, we are not feeling desperate. But chanting is supposed to make us feel desperate. Or in a situation of desperateness, we can chant better. Okay. Is it heavy? Supposed to be heavy. How can you say no? Supposed to be heavy. Okay. How many of you think about your to-do list when chanting? I should raise my hand first. While chanting, you don't think of your to-do list? Huh? He's the best chanter in this room. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you think, I need to complete that assignment if you're a student. I need to complete that project if you're an employee. I need to prepare for that class if you're a preacher. I need to make that prasadam if you are a cook. So I need to gather flowers and purchase some paraphernalia if you are a pujari. So even thoughts about service to the Lord also can be a disturbance in your chanting. What to speak of material thoughts of lust, envy, and other things. Yesterday, I had an argument with this devotee. I was very foolish to not argue with him in this way. I should have presented this argument, not that argument. He is dominating me. I should have given a proper counter argument. How could I keep silent like that? And all the arguments that you are supposed to present in that quarrel yesterday, you will present while chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 8 rounds finished. And that argument you never presented in front of him. You only get some mental satisfaction of preparing your thoughts, how to counteract him in the mind only, but you never did anything about it. You just did some spiritual chanting. It happens. It happens many times. Internally, a lot of dialogue is going on. And to-do list. Even if it is service also, there is to-do list. Why do we think about services when we are chanting? The answer is we think we are the doers. The doership mentality makes us think about our to-do list while chanting. But chanting is the time where you should feel, sincerely you should feel that I am not the doer. This is my prayer time, not planning time. Now, with the bead bag in my hand, with the holy name on my tongue, with the same holy name in my ears, with some feeling of prayer in my heart, I should just focus on the name of the Lord. I should become more prayerful. I should declare to the Lord that I am dependent on Him. Oh Lord, whatever I do is only because of your mercy, your grace. I am dependent on you. I am helpless. When we are supposed to feel helpless and dependent, we are planning as if we are the doers. We are the accomplishers. That achievement mode, that accomplishment mode, that mentality to achieve things, accomplish things, do things, that's not allowing us to chant. That's a difficulty, right? That's a prayer time, not planning time. When we are chanting, we are not the executors. We are beggars. The time for begging, you are using it for planning. Begging time is begging time. So now you need to beg for mercy. Chanting is then where you need to beg for mercy, express your dependence on Krishna, pray for some empowerment. Later execution begins. But before begging only, before getting mercy only, you are thinking about execution. That's a sense of doership mentality. We are not the doer. So, the devotee says, Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare.
Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare.
Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare.
Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare.
Trayasvamam Keshavalokanatha.
Trayasvamam Keshavalokanatha.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare.
Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare.
Oh Krishna, oh Vishnu, you have killed the demons like Madhu and Kaitava. And the demons of my anarthas are more dangerous than Madhu and Kaitava demons. Please kill them also. We are very compassionate. Out of compassion you can kill these demons of my doubts and demons of my anarthas. Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murari. Oh Krishna, you are Bhakta Anukampin. Anukampa means mercy, compassion, kindness. You are most compassionate upon your devotees. Oh Bhagavan, oh Murari, you are the enemy of Murari demon. But the Murari demon, although you have killed before, he has entered my heart. He is still alive. In fact, the Murari demon in my heart is more dangerous than the Murari demon that you have killed. Krishna, please Trayasva mam Keshava Lokanatha. Trayasva, please protect me. Oh Keshava, oh Lokanatha. Keshava is again the killer of Keshi demon. Krishna killed Madhu demon, Krishna killed Kaitava demon, Krishna killed Mura demon, Krishna killed Keshi demon. So the names Madhu Kaitavare, Murare, Keshava. So many names are mentioned. Trayasva, please protect me. The desperateness is lacking. Prayerfulness is lacking. Therefore we are unable to chant the names of the Lord desperately, prayerfully, saying Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhari.
Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare.
Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare.
Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare.
Trayasva mam Keshava Lokanatha.
Trayasva mam Keshava Lokanatha.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
We think that we can kill the Mura demon, we can kill the Madhu demon, we can kill the Kaitaba demon, we can kill the Keshi demon. Therefore, while chanting, we are thinking about our to-do list and task list. Even while executing, we are not only thinking about the to-do list, we will do the work also while chanting. Why? Because we think we are the doers. This is the time where we need to pray to Krishna so that Krishna will kill the demons. Krishna will kill our difficulties. Our difficulty is we think that we can clear our difficulties and we think of destroying those difficulties while chanting. Instead of outsourcing that responsibility to Krishna, delegate it to Krishna. Outsource it to Krishna. You don't have to execute everything. How can I delegate to Krishna, Prabhu? I should only destroy all these anarthas. You can't destroy, please understand. You do what you can do. You should do what you are supposed to do. You should do what you are capable of doing. Some things you are not capable of doing, that only Krishna has to do. What is your duty? Your duty is to pray to Krishna. And what is Krishna's duty? He is supposed to destroy your difficulties. But what happens is, we stop praying, means we stop doing our duty of prayer, and we take up Krishna's duty of destroying Mura demon, Keshi demon, and all the obstacles that we face during our duties. We should do our duty. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Your Swadharma is to chant. His Swadharma is to protect us. And when we chant, he will take care of us. Just like Krishna has Palana Shakti, Krishna's name, which is non-different from Krishna, also has Palana Shakti. What did Mrigari do? He just chanted Hare Krishna. Narada Muni told him, his guru told him, you are killing animals, you are half killing animals just for your belly, just for your food, just for your livelihood. I promise you, you chant Krishna's names, Krishna's name will supply all the livelihood that you need. Somehow he had trust. Mrigari broke his bow, picked up bead bag. From bow to bead bag. With a vow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He chanted the names of the Lord, gave up his cruelty. So many people, seeing his transformation, are coming and giving all grains and vegetables and fruits and all kinds of eatables. Only 2 people are there in his home, he and his wife. But he's getting the food of 20 people every day. Now the project is distribute the food meant for remaining 18 people every day. He's getting a lot of pious credits. He's getting a lot of spiritual credits. So Holy Name has Palana Shakti. Holy Name will take care of our maintenance. I'm not saying you give up your jobs. I'm only saying that when we're chanting, at least we should remember that we are dependent on Krishna. But if we are chanting, and while chanting, if you are thinking of what to do, how to do, when to do, in the mood of being a doer, then we are taking up Krishna's role and we are giving up a devotee's role. A devotee's role is to pray. Krishna's role is to protect. You want to protect yourself, of course, with all God-given abilities and experience, you protect yourself after chanting and before chanting, not during chanting. Right? So this is the time for praying. There should be exclusive time dedicated to pray to Krishna and to declare our dependence on Krishna. Every day. It may be 1.5 hours or 2 hours or whatever time is required, there should be exclusive time dedicated. I am not saying you should not execute. You execute so many things, you plan, you execute, you work for Krishna, you do as if you are the doer, but there should be some moments in a day dedicated where you completely keep aside that role of being a doer or executor and focus only on prayer. I am dependent on you, Krishna. Everything is happening because of you. I am nothing. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. Krishna said in the Gita to Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, tasmat pamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhukshva rajyam samruddham mayai vaite nihataha purvameva nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. What does it mean? We may teach Bhakti Shastri, we may do Bhakti Shastri, we may get certificate of Bhakti Shastri, we may distribute certificates of Bhakti Shastri, but this is very important shloka in the Bhakti Shastri. He said, Maye vaite nihataha purvameva. By me, all these enemies have already been killed. Maye vaite, by me, nihataha. Certainly they are killed. Purvameva, pehle se maar diya sabko. When? Agre kurunam atha pandavanam dushyasanena hrita vastra kesha. As soon as Dushasan touched the hair and sari of Draupadi, Krishna decided their death. Finished. Mayai vaite nihataha purvameva. As soon as Dushasan even attempted, even Dushasan went in the direction of Draupadi to pull her to the Asat Sabha, I have decided their deaths. Then Arjuna said, what am I supposed to do now? Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. You are nimitta matra. You are an instrument. You are an instrument in my hands. You are a tool in my hands. You are supposed to execute what I want you to execute in a prayerful mode. So we may think we are doing many things, whether it is preaching or teaching or distributing books or cooking or prasadam or worshipping or whatever it is. We may think we are doing. That's illusion. That's illusion. When we chant, that illusion will go away. Because we are not chanting sincerely, illusion is not going away. You want proof? We just recited some time back. See, Vepante duritari moha mahima sammoha malambate. When you chant the names of the Lord, sins will run away, illusion also will go away. And one of these illusions, or one facet of this illusion is to think that I am the doer. The illusion that I am doing things will go away when you chant the names of the Lord. So, we are not the doers. We need prayerful attitude. We should say, Trayasva Keshavalokanath Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Next. Okay, I think any discussion? I spoke 40 minutes. Any comments, questions, clarifications, objections, realizations, reflections? Because it's a very long and tedious, little uncomfortable journey through this topic of what's the difficulty in chanting. Let's have some breaks and discussions.
Very good. The point that you made about chanting is a prayer was very reassuring and very emphasizing. Thank you very much for that. Many times I forget that it is a prayer. Many times I think that it is a duty, it is like a process, it is like a
obligation.
Yes. Sometimes obligation also.
With him.
Yeah. So the aspect that you told about that it is a prayer is very, very impactful. Question I have is probably, why does the mind give so many ideas when I'm chanting? So many to-do lists keeps like literally bothering. What should I tell the mind when it is telling those things again. And sometimes it makes me feel that Krishna is asking me to do this. Oh, good.
Krishna is giving these ideas.
These ideas, yeah.
The holy name. I'm sincerely chanting the holy names of the Lord, so the holy names are revealing ideas how to execute this project. Long back one devotee said, Prabhu, now I came to know how to chant sincerely, how to chant attentively. I understood whatever we need to do to chant attentively. I have several beautiful, wonderful tips to chant very attentively. Oh, when did you think about them? While chanting. During chanting, I jotted down so many tips of how to chant attentively. He's not thinking about Krishna while chanting. He's thinking about how to chant and give a seminar on chanting. Anyways, the answer to your question is given by His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj once. When he was young, he also used to get a lot of thoughts, lot of ideas while chanting. And many of them are valid also. Very good ideas, very wonderful ideas to do some services to Krishna. Idea is great, and idea is about service to Krishna only. Both are nice, spiritual. And during chanting, but they are not allowing the services, and the ideas about the services are not allowing the devotee to focus on the holy name. Right? So Maharaj said, I started keeping a small book in my pocket and a pen. Whenever I get that thought or idea, immediately I'll write it down. When it goes in writing, then I'm done with that idea. I can chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama. After one or two rounds, one more thought will come. Immediately just write it. If you don't write it, you will continue to think about it. Right? So writing is a way not only to preserve the idea, but writing is also a way to leave that idea and focus on chanting. Maharaj said.
Is it okay to write?
That's what Maharaj said. You can try that.
I also do that.
Yeah, but not leaving the grid back. It's a quick writing, just one point and then matter closed and then come back to chanting. Not that you start writing half an hour. You have one thought, right? Let me elaborate on it first. Then I'll come back to chanting. That writing is to just dismiss that idea or keep it on record, but not allowing it to disturb your chanting. Right? So once you write it, then the thought will stop. You can continue. I mean, this is one tip that Maharaj gave, but there are other devotees, whenever they get ideas, they just focus and then they completely pray to the Lord, Krishna, please don't allow me to just think about 100 different things, although it is for service, let me focus. So, yeah, different ways of handling, but this is one thing that I heard about Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So during the day or in the office, so Krishna, I'm facing these difficulties in my office or in my house. Can you please help me in solving these difficulties? And this is bothering me a lot. And while during chanting continuously, that thought is haunting. How to solve this? How to solve this? So how should my prayerful mode that time? How to leave that so Krishna, please solve this and will focus on chanting. How we have to pray on that case?
Say it to Krishna. This thought or this anxiety is bothering me, not allowing me to hear the holy name that I am chanting. You please help me. Request him. Basically, when the mind is overwhelmed with either sadness or happiness, anxiety or excitement, we cannot focus on the sound vibration. When the mind is relieved from that anxiety or excitement, then we can focus on sound vibration. You want an example? Kayadu got the most glorious opportunity to hear Harikatha directly from Narada Muni, one-to-one class. It's not that Narada Muni is giving a class to 1,000 people. He's giving a private class, one-to-one class to Kayadu. She's the only student. but she's not hearing attentively. She's thinking, when will my husband come? And already this Vyavas attacked my son. Will he survive? Will they come back again to kill my son, Prahlad? She was anxious. She's not focusing on Naradamuni's class only. And some people also say she dozed off. But Prahlad did not have any anxiety. While sitting in the womb of Mother Kayadu, he was hearing everything attentively. So, anxious thoughts or exciting thoughts, or any thoughts of material happiness or material sadness, will not allow us to focus on the spiritual sound vibration. So, it's not possible or easy to eliminate all these material thoughts, whether anxious or exciting thoughts during chanting, but we should pray, we should try. Keep trying, that's all we can do. Keep praying and keep trying. Endeavor is parishrama, then mercy is kripa. So we need to put our endeavor to the best of our ability, and Krishna will show his mercy to the best of his ability, and someday it will work. Okay, any other reflections? Questions? Okay, we had a big list, right? I think that Prabhu has come. Yes, Prabhu, you want to say something?
Prabhu, you said about chanting, like Guru Maharaj also and Hanumanji also chanted. So, how do we see, were there exceptions in those yugas, or?
No, it's not that holy name of Krishna doesn't work in the previous yugas. It works, and it worked in previous yugas. And you quoted many examples also. However, in general, people of those yugas cannot take holy name of Krishna as the means for liberation so easily, because they think they are overqualified. They think they have more qualification to do more elaborate spiritual practices than simple chanting of Krishna's names. Okay. So there is no conviction that Krishna's name and Krishna are non-different. We discussed it, right? Can anyone say in 1 or 2 sentences, how did we address this last week?
Our name itself is like, we have our name and
You can take mic.
Yeah.
our name and ourselves are also the same. So similarly, if it is applicable for us, why not applicable for Krishna?
Yeah. So, even in material circles, although our name may not fully depict our qualities or our swarupa or our pravritti or prakriti, still, that name of a material person also, conditioned soul also, many times almost completely represents him. Why not Krishna spiritually? Correct. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu.
So, in some, in the near-death experience, so when they think of even the road parent or something, and because the brain is not filtering it, think of the brain as a low-pass filter which is preventing direct access to, say, your mind or something. During, for example, during in near-death experiences, people say, like, when they think of their mother, the mother immediately appears, like, so I think in this, because we have this, how do you say this, covering, the ego or something like that, that blocks this, that gives this separation between, say, between the object and the, what do you say there?
Somehow I am not understanding.
So
if someone could understand what Prabhu said, you can paraphrase and tell me, summarize and tell me.
I mean, I used to think about this like this, what we call as the difference between the name and the form, which we do not, when we think of the name, we don't directly get the form and things like that. But it appears like when people are leaving the body, there are people, when they think, the form appears or
Okay.
the grace appears. And so like
Basically, you are saying
yeah.
something to support
Yes.
our point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something which I understood when I looked at those experiences. When they even when they think about the mother about leading or so they are able to access.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So mind is hyperactive, productivity consciousness, and accomplishment mode, to-do mode. I think we discussed just now. To-do list. Not knowing what the difficulty is. Yeah, sometimes we may have a disease, and you go to a doctor, he checks nadi, everything all right. I don't know why you are feeling weak. You go to allopathy doctor, he will conduct all kinds of tests. MRI, CT scan, this test, blood test, this test, stool test, urine test, up to every report is all right, but still he is feeling very weak. Sometimes even a doctor, expert doctor also cannot diagnose what the difficulty is. And we may not fully be able to understand what's blocking us to chant the names of the Lord, what exactly is the difficulty in our chanting. But a discussion about all these difficulties may help us understand maybe this is my difficulty, maybe this is my difficulty, maybe this is my difficulty. So that's why once in a while we need to sit together and discuss and share our experiences in chanting, and also go through the glories of the process of chanting. We'll be able to understand where we are lacking. To understand where we are lacking, we need to understand what it can do. What great results chanting can provide. I am not accessing these results. I don't know what result I have achieved while chanting. At least let me discuss all the possible results. I have not achieved this. I have not achieved this. I have not achieved this. So what is lacking? So you can just backtrack, at least to some degree. And lack of maturity, lack of seriousness, lack of consistency, and unfavorable circumstances, unable to chant in the same posture, deep material attachments, and what is it? Katha, more relishing, chanting not so relishing. We discussed this last time. Okay, fine. These are all like simple difficulties, it seems. Material ambitions, we kind of addressed it. I'm sure we'll go and we'll address many of them as we move forward in our discussion. So one of the just now we discussed the difficulty is unable to find out what the difficulty is. So there is lack of sufficient awareness of our miserable condition in this world. I am being miserable in this material world. We lack conviction in that. We are convinced about so many things, but one thing that we need to be convinced about is I am miserable in this material world. There is a possibility of living without birth, death, old age, disease. We take it for granted. Yes, birth is common, death is common, old age is common, disease is common. But because we are accepting all these things, we are taking them for granted, we may not realize that there is a possibility of a nice life without birth, death, old age, disease. Without adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidevika kleshas. Without the material miseries and other kinds of distractions and temptations and allurements. It is possible to have a life like that. But to realize that we are caught up in a very unnatural state. It's like a fish coming out of water and thinking that it's fine, right? Perfectly alright. I am happy outside water also. If the fish thinks like that, the fish is foolish, isn't it? Similarly, if a conditioned soul, if a spirit soul living in the material world thinks that I am alright in this material world, that is wrong. That's totally, it doesn't make much sense. Just like fish is supposed to be in the water, a spirit soul is supposed to be in the spiritual world, but when we feel that I am alright here, I am comfortable, yeah, I am okay, I am fine. How are you? I am fine. We say that there's lack of sufficient realization or lack of sufficient awareness that we are in a very unnatural condition of life.
We are in a totally incompatible atmosphere in this material world. This material world is not meant for me. Prabhupada says this material world is not meant for any sane soul, sane personality. If you have common sense, if you have some sanity, this is not a place for us to live in. It is a foreign place. Not just foreign place, this place is not meant for a spirit soul. Many people were stuck in the other country. I was also stuck for a couple of weeks, recent past, last month. I am in my own world, just typing and all. But many other people who are stuck there, they are feeling that we are not in our place. We have to go back to our home, our homeland, our country, our family. And some news channels are presenting some news. Special flights are being arranged to bring Indians in those countries safely to their homes. So many things are being mentioned there in news channels. So they feel that we are stuck in an atmosphere which is totally unnatural for us, undesirable for us, unfit for us. We are in a foreign land. It's just few 4.5 5 hours away. A place which is 4.5 5 hours flight journey away from us, we are considering it foreign land. When we are stuck there for 10 days, we are desperate to come back here. But we are stuck in the material world, which is millions of miles or whatever you may call from Goloka. Right? We are supposed to be in Goloka, or at least Vaikuntha, or some other spiritual planet there, experiencing a loving bonding with Krishna, and we are here. We are not even realizing it. I am happy here. Yes. I have my own home. I have my own car. I have these family members. I have some friends. I am comfortable. Life is going on like this. Let it go forever. I want to live in this body only for a long time. So there is no sufficient understanding of our desperate condition. We are not realizing the gravity of our situation. We are in a totally unnatural place. And somebody is giving a solution in the form of holy name. We are not accepting it. Have you seen the cosmology chart? Cosmology picture? So material world is depicted and spiritual world is depicted. But there is one little connection from this material world to spiritual world. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a complicated network of material world. You can go from here to there by chanting the name of the Lord. So that is the power of holy name, but we are not accepting that medicine. You are living in a deep dark well, and somebody sent a rope. What are we supposed to do? Catch the rope and get out of the well. But we feel this well is very nice. Very comfortable place. I am sleeping in very nicely. That's the condition of the conditioned soul in this material world. Therefore we need to desperately say, Samsara kupe patito tyagadhe.
Samsara kupe patito tyagade.
Mohandha purne vishayabhitapte.
Mohandha purne vishayabhitapte.
Karavalambam mama dehi Vishnu.
Karavalambam mama dehi Vishnu.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Samsara kupe patito tyagadhe. Samsara kupa means this samsara, this material existence is compared to a deep dark well. Patita, I fell into it. Agadhe, deeply into this well. But I'm happy, comfortable there, that's the problem. Discomfort is not the problem. Becoming very comfortable with the discomfort is the problem. Thinking or perceiving the discomfort to be great comfort is the biggest problem. And that's what most conditioned souls are in this world, including struggling sadhakas who are dozing off in japa. संसारकूपे पतितोऽत्यगाधे मोहान्धपूर्णे विषयाभितप्ते. Moha andhapurne. Moha is illusion. Andha is darkness. Mohandhapurne means I am filled with the darkness of illusion. My heart is filled with darkness of ignorance, darkness of illusion, bewilderment, confusion, derangement, delusion. That is what we are filled with. Mohandhapurne. And because of this, Vishaya abhitapte. Vishaya abhitapte. I am being tormented by Vishaya. Vishaya means objects, sense objects. The sense objects are constantly tormenting me. I am thinking, these sense objects are giving me enjoyment. My senses are enjoying pleasure of these sense objects. We think like that. But Vishaya abhitapte. Vishaya is not giving you any happiness. Vishaya is contaminating our pure aspirations. Bhagavatam says, पिबन्ति ये भागवत आत्मनस्सतां कथामृतं श्रवणपुटेषु संभृतं पुनन्ति ते विषय विदूषिताशयम्. Ashaya means aspiration, goal. Most of the goals of all the conditioned souls or even struggling sadhakas in this world are contaminated by Vishaya. Vishaya vidushita ashayam. You can note this. Vishaya vidushita ashayam. Vishaya means sense objects. Vidushita means contamination or impurity. Ashayam means goals, our aspirations. Our aspirations are contaminated by sense objects in this world. The sense objects or desires for sense objects are contaminating our pure aspiration for Krishna Prema. I am supposed to be aspiring for Krishna Prema, and this Vishaya, this sense object is pulling me away from that goal. That is not your goal, this is your goal. The Krishna Prema is there. This new gadget is this side, new movie is this side, or a big alcohol bottle is this side. I don't know what are the other sources of material enjoyment here. The enjoyment is here. So Vishaya is contaminating our aspirations. But we are not realizing that Vishaya abhitapte. Mohandhapurne Vishaya abhitapte. But good news is, although we have fallen into this deep, dark well of material ocean, although we are being tormented by Vishaya, although we are in deep delusion and darkness, still, Karavalambam Mamadehi Vishnu. Oh Vishnu, you can extend your helping hand to pick me up from this samsara kupa. When we are fallen in a blind well, someone has to extend their hand. Karavalambam. Krishna's kara means hand. Krishna's hand is lamba, very long. Even though he is sitting in the spiritual world, Goloka yevi nava satya khilatma bhuto. Even though he is sitting in the spiritual world, even though we are falling in a deep dark well in the material world, Krishna can extend his helping hand to rescue us from this deep dark well. Karavalambam amadehi Vishnu. Have you seen that picture? Where Vishnu is sitting on the Garuda and somebody is in a
drowning in the
waves and they are putting hands like this, he is rescuing. Bhakta paya bhujanga garudamani Trailokya Rakshavani Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudrabani Yakantamani Rukmini Dhanakucha Dvandvaika Bhushavani Shriyo Deva Shikhamanir Dishatuno Gopala Chudavani. Krishna is always ready to descend on the Garuda airplane to rescue us from this samsara gupa. Only thing is we need to pray, we need to desire, we need to aspire for Krishna's protection. Saying, Karavalambam Mamadehi Vishnu Govinda Damodara Madhave. Say this sloka once again. Samsara
Rupe Patito Jagade Mohandapurne Vishaya
wants to experience so many tastes. Not just the taste of samosa, rasagulla, biryani, what else? Pizza. But the list doesn't end there. Okay, according to Prabhu's request, we'll end the food list there. But the tongue also wants to experience something more. Gossip, criticism, Vaishnava Nanda, or stupid, silly jokes, or mundane materialistic subjects, or sensual songs, meaningless songs, purposeless discussions. How many things the tongue is relishing? The tongue has great taste. Tongue is rasagna. Understand, the relisher of rasa. Tongue relishes rasa. Without tongue we cannot relish the taste of anything. Sometimes your tongue is not functioning properly, you can't taste. Even the sweetest item will appear bitter to you when you have some fever or something else, right? But the tongue is rasagna. But although the tongue is very much accustomed to relish so many things, but the tongue is not relishing Krishna's name. That is very bitter for the tongue. Why? Because on the same time, with the same tongue, we are criticizing devotees. With the same tongue, we are doing Vaishnava Ninda. With the same tongue, we are speaking very harsh and foul and bad words. With the same tongue, we are discussing materialistic topics. And with the same time, we are overeating. Then the tongue doesn't have the ability to relish Krishna's name. Krishna's name is not appearing tasty to this tongue. Tongue is feeling that, what is this new thing coming out? When you are accustomed to eat one kind of food item, one flavor of food, or one type of food, one quality of food, when another quality of food comes, you can't relish it. You feel, what is this? What kind of menu is this? I am accustomed to this kind of menu. When you are accustomed to eating one type of food, other type of food cannot appeal to your tongue. Similarly, when we are accustomed to tasting material topics with this tongue, the spiritual name of the Lord doesn't appear very tasty. Right? Why? The tongue has taste for material subjects, material names, material sounds. Now in some movie, some dialogue becomes famous. Everybody, including kids also, will repeat the same dialogue. Repeatedly. Is it so tasty? Initially the same dialogue must appear a little disgusting or whatever, because everybody is saying it, you also start saying it. It happens. It happens in these areas, I know. In childhood I have seen a lot. Right? So some big star will say something, one little phrase in a movie, and that becomes so viral, everybody in the state is saying that. Even after generations. Right? So when the tongue has taste for such things, where is time for the tongue to relish Krishna's name? Because tongue is getting, even if it is not tasty, tongue is getting accustomed to it. The tongue is getting accustomed to taste that mundane sound vibrations. The tongue is unable to relish spiritual sound vibration. So we need to habituate the tongue to taste and relish spiritual sound vibrations. Then the tongue will give up taste for material sound vibrations. Jihve rasagne madhura priyatvam.
Jihve rasagne madhura priyatvam.
Jihve rasagne madhura priyatvam.
Jihve rasagne madhura priyatvam.
Satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami.
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 Avarnayetha madhuraksharaणि.
Avarnayetha
Damodar Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodar Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodar Madhaveti.
Govinda Damodar Madhaveti.
Oh Jihva, oh tongue, you are rasagna. Rasa means taste. Rasagna means relisher of taste. One who becomes aware of taste. One who has the capacity to taste. Rasagna. Jihve rasagni. No, you are rasagna means something falls on you. Yeah, he's talking to the tongue. But your tongue, if something falls on you, say if this mogra flower goes on your tongue, immediately you understand it's bitter. You can put it in your nose, but not on the tongue. The distance between nose and tongue is very less, but still, nose can relish it, tongue cannot relish it. Do you eat mogra for your breakfast? No, right? So, tongue immediately understands the taste. You are rasagna. You are rasagna, you can recognize all kinds of tastes, but madhura priyatvam. Although you can recognize all kinds of tastes, you love sweetness. Something very sweet impresses you the most. I'm not talking about staunch, spicy people who cannot eat a single meal without 10 mirchis in the plate. But in general, I'm saying, general typical person, they like sweet. And although they eat other items, but when there is sweet, there is some speciality in that menu. Oh Jihva, you are rasagna, you are relisher of taste, you can recognize taste. And you are madhura priyatvam, you like sweetness most. And especially Brahmanas eat more sweets. It is mentioned. Anyways, my dear tongue, let me tell you one satyam. Satyam means truth. Satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami. This is not only satyam, it is hitam also. Every satyam is not hitam. Satyam means truth, that's all. Some truths can be very harsh, very difficult to digest. But some satyams are very beneficial. It's a beneficial truth, not an alarming truth, not a truth that makes you anxious. Satyam hitam. It's the most beneficial truth I am going to tell you, my dear tongue. Please listen. Satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami. Vadami means I will speak. Parama means the supremely beneficial truth I am going to tell you. My dear tongue, I completely understand your personality. I understand your nature. You are rasagna. You can recognize rasa. You are relisher of taste. You can recognize taste, and especially you like sweets. Madhura priyatvam. Knowing this nature of yours, let me inform you something which is extremely beneficial and truthful to you. Please hear that. What is that? Avarnayetha madhuraksharani govinda damodara madhaveti. These are the real madhurakshara. You are always aspiring for sweets. There is nothing sweeter than Krishna's name. Relish it. Krishna's name is the sweetest. Relish it. Madhura akshara means very sweet syllables. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. No jane janita ki yadbhiramrtaihi Krishneti varnadvayi. I don't understand what great sweetness and nectar is embedded within these two varnas, two syllables. Krishna, Krishna. No jane janita ki yadbhiramrtaihi Krishneti varnadvayi. They are very sweet. Oh tongue, I know you have great taste for sweetness. You can't find anything more sweeter than Krishna's name. Please chant. More sweeter than Govinda's name. Please chant. We need to beg our tongues. We need to conduct a counseling session every day for our tongues. Oh tongue, stop gossiping. Stop offending devotees. Stop criticizing devotees. Stop backbiting. Stop speaking all mundane topics. Are you not bored? Are you not ashamed? You can recognize so many rasas, but why are you going into mundane rasas, useless rasas? Please experience this sweet rasa of Krishna's names. Avaranayeta madhuraksharaadi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. This is what we need to tell our tongues. We should beg our tongues. We should do counseling session for our tongues. Tongue has gone mad. Tongue is constantly hankering for mundane, useless tastes, which are soul-degrading tastes. Don't get into that. And the problem is, you may do this soul-degrade, you may become accustomed to or habituated to this soul-degrading taste, but to undo that habit, how much time you have to spend? How many lifetimes you have to spend? Any material impression that we acquire will last with us for months and years and decades and centuries and lifetimes. To undo a material impression takes a lot of time. So we need to be serious. When we are bringing our senses in contact with sense objects, oh my God, they will create such long-lasting impressions in the mind. To wipe them out, to erase them will take a lot of time. Therefore, we need to be very selective about topics that enter our ears, about the topics that vibrate on our tongues. Is it getting heavy?
No.
So we need to counsel our tongues. We need to beg, go and beg our tongues with a begging bowl. Please chant Krishna's names. Please, please, please. Please stop gossip. Please don't criticize that Vaishnava. My dear tongue, please don't do that. Please, please, please. You should say that. You can do Maunavart instead of speaking gossip. Just consider that you are a dumb person. You don't have ability to speak. That's good. At least being speechless is better than speaking nonsensical speech. Right? But if you can speak, wonderful. Speak Krishna's names. You need to say that. I think I'll skip some. Another greatest difficulty in chanting is lack of humility. Agreed? It is humility that makes us chant. Should we pause and take any questions or comments or discussion points? Yeah. Prabhuji wants to speak.
No, I have a question. Prabhuji, the previous slide that you spoke about difficulty, material world, realizing that you are in the material world.
Samsara
Yes.
Rupe.
Yes, miserable condition. Prabhuji, at least after coming to ISKCON, the aspect of material world is heavily exposed in many ways, especially Srila Prabhupada's purpose, direct Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and many lectures by his disciples, and almost every Prabhuji who explains in our society, make sure that the clarity is given that material world is Dukkhalayam Ashashvata. And then we are also able to experience Shastra Chakshu also is happening, where now earlier we were suffering, now we know why we are suffering also. So the exposure, awareness of the material condition is happening, awareness of material condition is happening, but still the tendency to enjoy it is not disappearing at all. Still I want to, in spite of knowing, I was shocked to hear, just sharing this one thing, I was shocked to hear some incidents. We think that this body is for enjoyment, right? And Prabhupada gives a beautiful explanation of, just 1 millimeter below this outer layer is filth, right? Completely filth. But that 1 millimeter, whatever distance it is,
Skin covering
is still keeping you in illusion. Like, I heard of an incident, somebody who works in a postmortem ward of a hospital, literally postmortem, dead bodies. He misbehaved with the dead body. And like, you are seeing dead bodies, right? And his doctor who is doing surgery, who cuts the skin and sees the filth inside, literally he is doing the surgery, has still attraction to enjoy the body. So the exposure of the material world is true, that is being exposed, that, I'm grateful that is Sansara Davana, everything is clear. But what is that, Kamesha, Krodesha, some understanding is that, but why are we not able to go next? What is it that we have to beg from Krishna to make that next move?
Our understanding of this material world is at a preliminary stage is theoretical. At a little more advanced stage, it is experiential also. And many times it's intellectual also. But it has not completely sink into our systems or our hearts because we don't have sufficient taste for spiritual activities. Just distaste for matter is insufficient. Taste for spirit is required. So, yes, I have developed some distaste, or at least I have intellectually understood the fierce nature of this material world. Still, why am I wanting to enjoy it? Because I don't have any alternate source of enjoyment. By nature, the soul is pleasure seeker. Anandamayo bhyasa. The soul wants pleasure. If you are not finding pleasure, or if you are not deriving pleasure, or if you are not aspiring for pleasure in spiritual circles, in spiritual activities, naturally mind will look for pleasure in material things only, right? Even if it is a dead body or living body, whatever, the soul has a tendency, the conditioned soul especially has a tendency to derive material enjoyment. So that's why just understanding the philosophy is not sufficient. We need to develop an emotional bonding with Krishna. That's what Prabhu wanted me to speak yesterday. So intellectual understanding of the philosophy is insufficient to stop our excitement to enjoy the material world. Intellectual understanding of philosophy is insufficient to stop our excitement to enjoy the material world. What stops that is an emotional bonding with Krishna. Emotions are more powerful than intellectual analysis. Emotions are more powerful than our intellectual analysis. Many times people either become attached to others or attached to some power or position or whatever. It's more on an emotional plane than a logical plane. If they simply use little logic, what they are pursuing doesn't make sense to them only. But why still they are attached to it? There is an emotional bonding there. So if that tendency for emotional satisfaction, if we divert to Krishna, and if we genuinely develop an emotional bonding with Krishna, then our excitement to explore this material world will diminish gradually. And how do we develop that emotional bonding with Krishna? Chanting. And also hearing the sweet leelas of Krishna. When we hear more about Krishna's pastimes and also Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela, when we understand more about how much Krishna loves us, how Krishna loves us, that emotional bonding with Krishna, that understanding that Krishna loves me the most, will develop disinterest towards this material world. Will not disinterest, will become disgusted with this material world. As Yamunacharya says, my lips automatically curve and spit at the thought of sense enjoyment. Why? There is an excitement here. You want a reference? Very popular reference. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana Grihnantu munchantu va Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja Vamshe kalankostu va Tadr prema dharanu raga madhuna Mattaya manantu me. See the last line. Tadrik prema dharanu raga madhuna mattaya manam tumi. When a sadhaka, even in the sadhana stage, experiences that prema of Krishna, love and affection of Krishna, and recognizes that Krishna loves him the most, more than anyone else, that emotional bonding with Krishna, that recognition of Krishna's prema for us, and the development of prema for Krishna within us, that will stop our excitement to explore the material pleasures in this world. Emotions. Intellectual analysis has very limited role to play in life. Of course, it has its own role to play, but intellectual analysis, philosophical understanding of the reality of this material world, of the disgusting nature of this material world, is insufficient in stopping us to explore the material pleasures. You want more proof? Go to 5th canto Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, 4th sloka. The prayers of the residents of Jambudvipa. You know what they said? Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram Pashyanti Chadhyatmavido Vipaschitah Tathapi Muhyanti Tavajamayaya Suvismitam Krityamajam Natosmitam. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram. You want to see that? Let me just show it. Better you see the. It is 5.18.4. See this shloka. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram. Oh, that is right. Pashyanti Chadhyatma Vido Vipaschitah. Tathapi Muhyanti Tava Jamayaya. Suvismitam Krityamajam Natosmitam. See the meaning. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram. There are so many exalted personalities. Vadanti, they speak about the disgusting nature of this material world. Just now Prabhuji spoke. There are so many kavis, philosophers, vipaschita, very experienced people. They understand the disgusting nature of this material world. They realize it. They even preach to others also. See the second line? Sorry. Pashyanti chadhyatma vido vipaschitah. Pashyanti means they see the temporary nature of this world. Adhyatma vida, they are well versed in spiritual knowledge. Vipaschitah, they are very experienced also. Tathapi, still muhyanti, they are bewildered. By what? Tava aja mayaya. O Aja, O unborn Lord, your Maya bewilders them. They are convinced. They can convince others also. They are preachers also. Still, tathapi muhyanti tavaja mayaya. To what degree? Suvismitam. Vismitam means to be bewildered. Suvismitam means to be thoroughly bewildered. Tathapi muhyanti tavaja mayaya suvismitam. Krityamajam natosmitam. That's why the Lord made even Brahma and Shiva also run behind women to understand, to make us understand how difficult is the attraction between men and women in this world. Shiva was running behind Mohini Murti. Even the personification of material energy, Parvati, could not induce any lusty feelings in Shiva, but Shiva is running behind Mohini Murti. Brahma is running behind his own daughter, walk. Brahma and Shiva. What other examples we want? Not to minimize their glory. It is the Supreme Lord's plan that let me make even Brahma and Shiva also become victims of lust, at least momentarily, so that conditioned souls in this material world will not be overconfident, thinking that, no lust, I am a pure devotee. You want to read the translation? Someone read it loudly.
Hare Krishna. O unborn one, learned Vedic scholars who are advanced in spiritual knowledge certainly know that this material world is perishable, as do other logicians and philosophers. In trance, they realize the factual position of this world and they preach the truth as well. Yet, even they are sometimes bewildered by an illusionary energy. This is your own wonderful pastime.
Maya.
Therefore, I can understand that your illusionary energy is very wonderful, and I offer my respectable obeisances unto you.
You want more? See what Prabhupada says. Because of their inattentiveness in the transcendental position, they fall down. Let's see. Read from here. Anyone else? Some other devotees?
Complete.
You just read. Read this much.
A liberated soul is a person who has sufficient knowledge of this material world and is therefore unattached to the bodily conception of life. But because of association with the modes of material nature for a very long time, even liberated souls sometimes become captivated by the illusory energy due to inattentiveness in the transcendental position.
Inattentiveness. So we need to attentively chant Hare Krishna. We need to attentively hear Krishna Katha. We need to attentively study Srimad Bhagavatam. We need to attentively worship the Lord. We need to attentively pray. Then there is a possibility of being protected. You want more? One question is occupying another class, full class. I think we'll take another question. Or let me complete this. Give me a few minutes. काशायान च भोजनादि नियमानो वावने वासतो व्याख्यानादथवा मुनिव्रतभरा चित्तोद्भव क्षीयते किन्तु स्फीतकलिन्दशैलतनया तीरेषु विक्रीडतो गोविन्दस्य पदारविन्दभजनारम्भस्य लेशादपि काशायान च. Just by wearing kashaya, saffron cloth, do you think lust will go away? No. Padyavadi shloka says, kashaya nacha. Second, bhojanadi niyaman. By diet regulation, by eating only non-spicy khichdi, will the lust go away? Will material desires go away? No. Kashaya nacha bhojanadi niyaman. No vavane vasato. By vanavas, by staying in secluded forests far away from Hyderabad city, far away from the billboards and movies and YouTube and Instagram, will lust go? No. Kashaya cha bhojanadi niyaman no vavane vasato vyakhyanagatava. Vyakhyana means by reading elaborate Sanskrit commentaries, by doing elaborate philosophical speculation or analysis. Will lust go away? No. Good news. Munivrata Bharat, by Maunavrat, they are not speaking to anyone, by keeping mum, or by putting a mask on the mouth or a sticker on the mouth, not speaking anything. Munivrata Bharat. Chittodbhava kshiyate. Will the mind's lust or material desire go away? No. Kashayana cha bhojanadi niyaman no vavane vasato vyakhyanadatava munivrata bhara chittodbhava kshiyate. But there is a way of destroying lust, destroying material desires, destroying our excitement to explore material pleasures in this world. You know what is that? किंतु स्फीतकलिन्दशैलतनया तीरेषु विक्रीडतो गोविन्दस्य पदारविन्दभजन आरम्भस्य लेशादपि. If you start, even if you begin to start worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna even slightly, which Krishna? That Krishna who is Tireshu Vikridato. Kintu Spita Kalinda Shaila Tanaya. Kalinda Shaila Tanaya is this beautiful Yamuna river. If you worship that Krishna who is happily moving, wandering on the bank of Yamuna along with the gopas and the cows and the calves, if you begin to worship Krishna, Govinda, then lust will go away. Only bhakti can destroy lust. Only bhakti can material. Only bhakti unto Lord Govinda's lotus feet can destroy our material desires. So, just an understanding of the fallacy of the material illusion, material creation doesn't stop our excitement to enjoy on a material plane. What stops is Govinda Bhakti, with devotion, an emotional bonding with Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. I hope that answers your question.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I believe everyone in the world has been feeling stuck at some point of time in life, be it past or be it present, or be it past or be it future. So, you did give an alternate that you should start chanting the name of Lord Krishna and leave it to him and do what you should be doing and let him do what he should be doing. But sometimes when you, with these small brains of ours, we do not see that we are proceeding further and we're slowly moving out of this stuck feeling. You sort of sense of, you start having a sense of feeling that you doubt the existence of the Lord itself. How do you handle such situations where either you're stuck in past or future for any sort of situation? You rely upon the Lord and you're not feeling the presence and you're still feeling stuck.
Can you just summarize in a sentence? I kind of get it, but still, can you just keep it a little more eloquent and summarize in a sentence?
So let's say I'm feeling stuck for some situation, I'm not able to proceed further, not having the right solution or right approach to something. And I come and talk to Krishna on daily basis that this is the problem I'm facing, what should I do? I'm not getting any answer. And somehow I'm not getting an answer, or maybe the answer is around me, I'm not able to absorb it.
You don't have the password, or the link that we have has one character missing. When we are stuck, there are multiple ways of dealing with it. But one way is technically called philosophical counseling. It's not psychological counseling, it is philosophical counseling. What's the difference? Sometimes we have the ability to come out of the confusion by thinking little more logically, using little reasoning, or doing little analysis. We can come out of that emotional, situation of being stuck somewhere, right? By seeing the same situation a little more logically, we can come out of it. And that happens by philosophical counseling, where people will help you. Somebody will help you to analyze the situation, see pros and cons properly, and maybe you can even use a board or a pen and paper and then jot down what's happening there and what could have happened, what could have been avoided, now what we can do, something like that. You can just do some analysis, philosophical analysis, intellectual analysis, in short, rational analysis. When you are emotionally stuck, bring in the rational faculty. Mind is the emotional faculty, intelligence is the rational faculty. When the mind is stuck with emotions, bring in the rational faculty of intelligence and analyze the mind's emotions, feelings, thoughts, desires, attachments, aversions, and you'll be able to come out of it. However, when the mind's emotions are too overpowering the intelligence, then philosophical analysis and philosophical counseling will not work. We need psychological counseling. We need medication. Right? So that has to be handled by a psychiatrist. If the problem is within certain limits, then you can handle by just logical and rational analysis and you're free. But if the problem goes beyond certain extent, we need to meet psychiatrist and medication and other things. Therapies are required. Okay. Any other question, comment? One here, one there. Diagonally opposite. 3. We'll take Matthew's questions also.
Okay.
Only Prabhus are speaking still now. 2 hours.
We have difficulty.
Hmm?
We have difficulty.
Just in context with what he's just said.
Prabhuji, pranam. Prabhuji, నేను చాంటింగ్ గురించి మీకు ఫస్ట్ చెప్పినప్పటి నుంచి మీరు వచనాలు అన్ని వింటూ ఉంటాను అన్నమాట. చాలా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ చూస్తున్నాను. ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉన్న కలవాలనుకున్నాను. అదృష్టంలో ప్రభుజీ మనకు చూడడానికి అవకాశం వచ్చింది. ప్రభుజీ, నేను కృష్ణ నుంచి చాంటింగ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ చెప్తుండేవాళ్ళు అనమాట. మీరు ఏం చేయకుండా శ్రవణ కీర్తనం స్నానం అనేది చెప్తుండేవాళ్ళు. తప్పకుండా చాంటింగ్ చెయ్యాలి అని చెప్పేవాళ్ళు. అయితే నేను అప్పుడు ఊహించుకున్న ప్రభుజీ, అంటే మన హృదయంలో కూడా ఉంటాడు భగవంతుడు అని చెప్పారు మీరు. అప్పుడు నేను అంటే పెద్దవుతాడు మనం హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ 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 హరే హరే ఇలా పెద్దవుతా పడుతూ ఉంటే చెవులోకి వినిపిస్తుంది. చెవుల నుండి హృదయంలోకి వస్తుందని అలా చిన్న డయాగ్రామ్ వేసుకున్నాను ప్రభుజీ. నేను ఆ హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం హృదయం కృష్ణ పాదాల దగ్గర తులసిలాగా పడుతుందని నేను ఊహించుకొని చిన్న డయాగ్రామ్ వేసుకున్నాను ప్రభుజీ. అది ఎప్పటి నుంచో అవకాశం నాకు ఇవాళ వచ్చింది ప్రభుజీ. చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది మిమ్మల్ని చూస్తూ ఉంటే. మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్తున్నారు కానీ నాకు ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు, కానీ అర్థం కొంచెం చిన్న చిన్న విషయాలను అర్థం చేసుకుంటాను.
భాష తెలియకపోయినా కూడా మీరు ఇంత సహనంతో 2 గంటల నుంచి ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్నారంటే అది మీ భక్తికి ప్రూఫ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Hare Krishna, Tulsi Dhanatra. How can we convince our mind that chanting is an emergency thing we should do in our life? And మీరు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పారు కదా రోజు, కృష్ణ అండ్ కృష్ణ నేమ్ ఈ రెండు డిఫరెంట్ కాదు అనడానికి ఐ ఫౌండ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దట్ పిల్లలు, మా పిల్లలు నచ్చిన పిల్లలు అల్లరి చేస్తుంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం చెప్పింది వినప్పుడు డాడీకి చెప్తాను అనగానే దే విల్ అలర్ట్.
రియల్లీ?
అంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను.
I'm asking your child.
ఈవెన్ వేరే దగ్గర చేసిన మమ్మీ డాడీకి చెప్తాను అనగానే వాళ్ళు అలర్ట్ అయిపోతారు. అంటే అలర్ట్ చేయడం మానడం.
కొంతమంది అంటారు ప్రభుజీకి చెప్తానంటారు కొంతమంది. అప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చాంటింగ్ చేస్తారు. ఓకే,
అట్లా అంటే మన మైండ్ ని మనం ఎలా కన్విన్స్ చేసుకోవాలి రోజు? అసలు చాంటింగ్ అనేది నిజంగానే ఎమర్జెన్సీ అని కన్విన్స్ అవ్వడానికి కూడా
అదే కదా మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నాం ఇప్పటి వరకు.
కొంచెం
we have been discussing that only. Let me give a simple example. Somebody is hungry, very hungry. You ask him, why are you not eating food? He'll say, I am very hungry, therefore I am not eating food. Does it make any sense? Somebody is sick, very sick. Doctor gave him medicines. He is not taking. Then you ask him, why are you not taking medicines? He says, I am very sick, therefore I am not taking medicines. Does it make any sense? Similarly, we may present difficulty that how do I, what is that you said? How to convince the mind?
emergency. Chanting is the most emergency.
Chanting. The scriptures are saying repeatedly, we have to desperately pray to Krishna, chant the names of the Lord. Kalau nastyeva, 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 nastyeva gatiranyatha. Hundreds of things we discussed last week also, this week also. Still mind is not getting convinced. It means like, it's like saying, yeah, I have medicine but I am not taking because I am sick. I am hungry but I am not eating because I am hungry. It's as illogical as that. Mind has to be convinced. At least intellectually has to be convinced. Basically, whenever we have some difficulties to understand something, all we need to do is go back to basics. Shravanam Kirtanam. Chanting is a solution to all problems. We may not get any magical, miraculous answer falling that will immediately change our mindset. Yes, from today I am a pure devotee. I will chant Shuddhanam. Forget this Namaprad chanting. No, we have to try. There's no other way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Any other? Yes, Mother, you had a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna to everybody.
Just in context with what he said, that when we are stuck and we don't know what to do, I was in this place, then I would really go to a guru and consult. Because I think so the best margdarshan or philosophical knowledge, what you just said, will be shared by him and he will be guiding us to move ahead. So yes, that guru word was like, is really important when I feel that I am stuck.
Correct. Undoubtedly. That's what Arjuna did. Arjuna, when he stuck emotionally, he went to Krishna. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavah pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetah. Dharma sammudha chetah. My mind is stuck. I am unable to figure out what is my dharma. Then he said, Yashreyasya nishchitam bruhitam me sishyasteham shadhimam prapramnam. I am your Shishya, you are my Guru, accept me and do some philosophical counseling. So,
sorry, I'm asking many questions.
Yeah, sure.
Today's lecture is really helping me. That's why. Prabhu, how to be controller when you know that you are not the controller? You know that Krishna is doing everything, but you still have to control. You still have to control something.
Tasmatvam uttishta yasholabhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham mayaivaite nihataha purvameva nimittamatram bhava savyasachi. You are nimitta-matra even though you are a savyasachi. Savyasachi means one who can release arrows from both hands. I don't know how to do that. But Arjuna can release arrows through both hands. Even though he is such an expert archer who can release arrows simultaneously from both hands, still he is a nimitta matra. Similarly, even if we are expert managers, expert controllers, still we are nimitta matra. We are simply instruments in Krishna's hands. But, okay, I understand I am an instrument. When I am understanding I am an instrument, Krishna is the controller, I don't feel like controlling. See, you control on behalf of Krishna. Krishna has given you some talents, resources, and skills, and power, and position. More than all this, a responsibility to control things for a positive purpose. We don't want to control in the mode of being a controller, but we want to control any negativity in the situation and keep things positive. That's the controllership that a Vaishnav tries to do. So, on behalf of Krishna, let me control the situation as much as humanly possible with God-given intelligence. I should control the situation in the mode of service. I should not be controlled by the situation. I should exercise my controllership within some controls. If it goes beyond the control, then I am trying to compete with the Supreme Controller. He is the Supreme Controller. He gave me some control. And I need to control the situation mainly in the mode of service, but not in the mode of being a controller. I am a representative of Krishna, not a replacement for Krishna. I am an instrument in Krishna's hands. So, in the mode of representative, we should do it. And if it is being, if you are feeling too uncomfortable doing it, pass on the control to someone else. You pick up the bead bag. That's the easiest thing. But if we are able to comfortably control without thinking that you are the supreme controller, then do it as in the mode of service. That's what I can say.
Thank you. There is a lot to derive out of what you told. Definitely.
This is a zip file. The statement is a zip file. You have to uncompress it.
Yeah, it is. You encompass so much into it. You told that one is you told that it should be for his pleasure, not for your pleasure when you are controlling. And it should be for a higher purpose where you are trying to control. As a representative, you control, not a
replacement.
Not a replacement. Not a replacement. Lot of things you told. Very helpful. Thank you.
As a servant of Krishna, not a substitute for Krishna.
Servant of Krishna, not a substitute. Correct.
Any other question? Yes, Prabhuji is desperately waiting. It will be an offense if he doesn't.
Because this comment is very sweet, Prabhuji. This room is a laboratory today, and you said one thing, Prabhuji, that Krishna Prem is the most sweetest sweet. And I think everybody will agree that when you sang this Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, I think that set the mood for the entire class for me. You know? And when you sang that, Kesha Vastra and Madhukaita Bare in a tone, that really set the mood, Prabhuji. You said not to think while chanting, but here in your class, I kept on, that meter was going on. And when devotees like your grace sing the glories of the Lord, they really appeal like Krishna's names are very sweet, Prabhuji. So for us to carry a similar sweetness while we chant, you said many tips so far, but still if you want to, it was so sweet when you sang, Prabhuji. We relish it like anything, I have a experience of His Holiness Kadamba Kannada Swami, my Gurudev, singing in Radha Desh Melos. The Western devotees start crying just like that. So when a pure devotee sings, I think we all have experienced that. The name is really relishable, and we see the sweetness of Krishna's names. So how that mellow can continue while we chant every day. So
Last 2 hours we have been discussing so many things from so many scriptures, lot of analysis. But as Prabhu said, and maybe many of you have experienced, even my experience as a speaker also is the same, that when we are singing the names of the Lord, Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare Trayasvamam Keshavalokanath Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. The sweetness of the name inspired our hearts more than the intellectual analysis that we have done. So, intellectual analysis is not sufficient. We need to connect with the sweetness of Krishna's names. And we can connect with sweetness of Krishna's names not when somebody describes its sweetness, but when you eat it. If I give the recipe of Malpua, if I give the recipe of Rasagulla, at the max you may get some water from your mouth. If you are really connected to that recipe, but unless you eat it, you cannot experience it. So it's the sweetness of Krishna's names that inspires our hearts more than long intellectual analysis of the things. Of course, that has its role to play. Definitely. Krishna's names, we are inspired to chant Krishna's names, but we have to chant Krishna's names to actually experience its sweetness. And that's what Prabhu is experiencing. And even I relished the most when I was singing the shlokas more than answering all your questions with analysis. Please,
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful points. For me, what happens while chanting often is it will be a revision of what I heard or read from the previous day. Or if some prayer I like very much, I'll be meditating.
Your Shravanam is overlapping with Kirtanam.
How should I?
At least that's a positive and spiritual distraction. Be happy about it. At least you are hearing so much. Therefore, when you are chanting also, you are revising the points that you have heard. But some people while chanting, they revise the arguments they had, they revise the quarrels they had with other people. And some people revise the movie songs that they have heard in the past. So it's very very much in mode of goodness and very spiritual distraction. Good, no problem. We aspire for your type of distraction in japa. Okay, any other?
Does Gaudiya Vaishnava theology, does it guarantee, of course the Krishna Prema is the ultimate thing in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but like for people, like we just want to escape and we want to get liberated. I mean, like, let's say I suppose I'm not aspiring for Krishna Prema, but just get rid of this place. Does Gaudiya Vaishnavism guarantee liberation to a place of eternal bliss or something, if we surrender? For example, in Sri Vaishnavism, this question is posed by Ramanuja to Varadaraja Perumal to Tirupati Nadi, where this answer comes like Darshan. So there is indeed a distinction between the Brahman and the Atman, and there is this kind of guarantee that you will get moksha at the end of this lifetime. So this answers come from Varadaraja. So what is your answer for this? Or I mean, this is something which continues to bother me. Like let's say I'm not able to aspire for Krishna Prema, but I want to just leave as soon as I can. So
your desire will definitely be fulfilled by chanting Hare Krishna, by following the process and resonant given in the, as you said, Gaudiya Vaishnava line. However, you said you want to leave. You want to get rid of this material entanglement. But leave where? Go where? You want to leave this material world? Great. You want to get rid of this material cycle of birth and death? Great. You want to get rid of birth, death, disease, old age? Fine. And go where? Then I'm asking a clarity in your question.
I would love to go to Goloka, but at least if I'm not able to reach there, and some other place where...
What is that other place?
Maybe Vaikuntha, or like any place
You can go to Vaikuntha. Yes, why not?
No, but is that like many times people say like to get rid of all these anarthas, you have to spend a lot more time to overcome it. That looks not very, what do you say, sometimes it's not very motivating also. I feel that way.
No pain, no gain. If somebody says this is the paddhati, this is the process to attain your goal, and if hearing that process you are getting demotivated, then you are not ready for it. So basically, liberation or mukti is a byproduct of bhakti. When you perform bhakti, liberation automatically comes, and liberation is not necessarily the ultimate goal, but if somebody wants that as an ultimate goal, fine, you will get that also. 100% sure. But you will get much more than that. Right? Liberation is a free product. You have a bigger product. You purchased, say a phone, a gadget, which people keep doing every day. So that's maybe say 10,000 rupees. With this phone, they give some earphones as free, earbuds free. That may be some 500 rupees or something like that. You paid 10,000 rupees, got a phone, and for 500 rupees you got some earphones. So, when you aspire for the final product of Krishna Prema, this earphone of Mukti is embedded within it. Right? But many people don't aspire for both. They want the cover above the package. That is karma. Aspiring for material pleasures is like just wanting the cover above it, the wrapper above it. But aspiring for that free earphones is like aspiring for mukti. But aspiring for the main product, the phone itself, is bhakti. So when we perform bhakti unto Krishna, naturally mukti is embedded within it. Liberation from the cycle of birth and death, liberation from this birth, death, old age, disease. It automatically comes out like a significant or insignificant byproduct of the ultimate goal of bhakti. Right? We are not minimizing mukti. Mukti is great, definitely. But mukti is basically relief from the material misery. But once you get relief from material misery, you need some positive engagement also, right? Yes, there is an abode called abode of mukti beyond the coverage of the material universe. So this universe has 14 planetary systems, and the universe is covered by different layers of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mahatattva, and all these layers. Each layer is 10 times bigger than the previous layer, and beyond the coverings of this universe, beyond all these layers, there is an abode of liberation where Lord Mahakala stays with his divine effulgence. That is called the area of Brahma Jyoti. That is the abode of liberation, where that quote unquote neutral state of quote unquote bliss, Brahmananda, is present there. Going there, if that is the aspiration, you can happily go there. And there is happiness called Brahmananda there. But there is no activity, there is no relationship. There is a sense of merging into the existence of the Lord. There is happiness, spiritual bliss is there, happiness of self-satisfaction, but there is no happiness of a relationship, a service, an interaction with the Lord. But bhakti takes us to much, much higher realm, into the personal planets of the Lord, like Vaikuntha, Goloka, Ayodhya, etc., where you can have personal bonding and personal interaction with the Lord and have deep interactions with Him, service to Him, relationship with Him. But all that is missing in the abode of mukti. But if that's what someone wants, welcome to the abode of mukti.
No, what I wanted is that guaranteed in this life itself, or to attain Krishna Prema, you have to take
whether we get it in
this
this life or not depends on the intensity of your practice. Intensity matters.
Suppose I surrendered, or I performed the life of surrender in Sri Vaishnavism, there is Prasati as a way of surrender, right? So is there something like that which I do and I try to follow to best of what I can? Does that kind of do this ticket?
So whether you follow this path or that path, any bona fide Vaishnava path if you follow, mukti is guaranteed. But whether you get in this life or bahunam janmanamante, whether you get in next life or after 10 lifetimes or 1000 lifetimes, it depends on the tivrata of your bhakti. It depends on the intensity of your practice. If that intensity is not there, it may take 1000 lifetimes. No need to get disappointed. We just want to increase our temperature, intensity. For example, this hall is well lit with so many lights. There are chandeliers here and there are lights everywhere. But say, if all lights are off, in this corner only this light is there. Will that sufficiently illuminate everybody there? This is also producing light. And this chandelier is also producing light. But it can illuminate a bigger area of this room, but this can illuminate only this one corner of this room. Both are light only, but the intensity is the difference. So when the practice is intense, you can get liberation in 5 minutes also. But if the practice is not intense, even after 5 lifetimes or 50 lifetimes or 5 million lifetimes also, we may not get liberation. Intensity. Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much.
You are going to conclude with Trinadapi Sunicena, I thought. You want to do that?
I am going to begin with Trinadapi Sunicena. Whatever I spoke is only prelude. I didn't enter the topic. I think we'll stop. Mother, this is a question. There is no difference between name and the form of the Lord. How do we understand? Last week we discussed it elaborately, Mataji. Mataji will explain.
Spiritual ultimate goal అనేది లవ్ అని చెప్పాను నేను. లవ్ వేరు, భక్తి భక్తి వేరు, లిబరేషన్ అండ్ బర్త్ లిబరేషన్.
ఓకే, తెలుగు చెప్పంటారా? హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యు నో తెలుగు హియర్? ఓకే, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ యూ. భక్తి అంటే అది పద్ధతి, ఫుల్ ప్రాసెస్. లవ్, ప్రేమ అంటే అది భక్తిలో అల్టిమేట్ స్టేజ్. భక్తిలో 9 స్టేజ్లు ఉన్నాయి. శ్రద్ధ, సాధు సంగ, భజన క్రియ, అనర్థ నివృత్తి, అలా 9 స్టేజ్లు ఉన్నాయి. 9వ స్టేజ్ ప్రేమ. భక్తి అనేది మొత్తం ప్రాసెస్ అంతా, పద్ధతి మొత్తం ఫుల్ ప్రాసెస్. ఆ ప్రాసెస్లో ఫైనల్ స్టెప్ ఇస్ ప్రేమ. అది భక్తికి ప్రేమకి ఉన్నటువంటి వ్యత్యాసం అనొచ్చు. ఇంకా జన్మ ఉంది. దేవుడి పట్ల పూర్తి సంపూర్ణమైనటువంటి ప్రేమ మీరు పెంపొందించుకుంటే ఇంకో జన్మ ఎత్తాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. పునర్జన్మ న విద్యతే.
హరే కృష్ణ హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే 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 రామ్ హరే రామ్ 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 హరే. Space for it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I don't know. Hare Krishna. I don't know how to reciprocate to what we got today.
Double.
Hare Krishna. I was meditating. I'm sure everybody today gained a lot. Right? If we have to open our hearts and think what we gained, it's endless gift we got today. But amazing part is Prabhuji was like, at the end he brought everything back to Bhakti. Right? No matter where you go, this you get, that you get, you brought it back to Bhakti. So no matter where you go, what you do, come to Bhakti center. Because Bhakti is in the center. And the center is meant for so, Prabhuji insisted that, right? We all should realize that. Don't think I'm promoting this place. I am promoting this place. So please, so please come and experience this. Without talks of devotees like Prabhuji, there is no purpose of this place. Right? This decoration, this photographs, lighting, AC, prasadam. The only purpose is to get a reminder again and again. Recently I was seeing this video where they are making a huge project from Indian Railways. They are making a huge project from Hyderabad. They say Hyderabad people are the most fortunate. Why? Because from Hyderabad in 2 hours you can go to Bangalore. Some bullet train is coming. Right? In 2 hours you can go to Bombay. And in 2 hours you can go to Chanting. It's actually happening. Right? So when I saw that I was like, wow. And they were saying, people in Hyderabad are very fortunate. Right? I don't know whether we can go to 2 hours, we can go to Bombay, Chennai or Bangalore or not. But being in Hyderabad, if you are in Bhakti center, you will get Gologa immediately. That's what I said. There is no doubt about it. This is the way to go back to Gologa. This is the way to go back. But one thing Prabhuji today was, I'm openly admitting that I'm becoming very envious of you, personally. Because you remember the prayers so beautifully. The prayers, it's not just remembrance, you relish those prayers when you are explaining. If at all I want to ask a benediction to Krishna, I want to ask that I also want to remember prayers like that. The prayerfulness. And in today's lecture, my takeaway, personally, I'm sure everybody here has a takeaway, my takeaway is, definition of chanting is prayer. Right? So that is the time to pray, not to plan. That has really hit me hard directly. I'm very grateful that you made a big difference, very big difference. And if at all people are talking about association, many times when we go and ask a problem in ISKCON, the answer finally goes back to association. Right? A, B, C, D, and it starts with A. And sometimes we wonder that in spite of having that association, why we are not able to make progress, why we are not able to take this forward. But if we really associate in Sangha like this, then we will know the power of association. That's what I feel. Where you are not only explaining the difficulties in chanting, you are explaining the importance of chanting. And many of us here who are struggling in chanting, this kind of seminar that you chose, Prabhu, this is I don't know how we can repay. There is no way we can repay. There is also verse in Bhagavatam, which is mentioned in many important places, is that for a reciprocation like this that we get, we cannot repay. All we can do is take a drop of water in our palm, just close it and thank. That's all we can do. And today, actually, you did that. You have been doing it, but today's lecture and the previous lecture. One thing I'll admit, Prabhuji, that many of us here who have come have heard the philosophy and they have come to ISKCON. The philosophy. Sometimes I feel the philosophy is increasing more and more and more, but in line with that, the prayerfulness also has to increase. Right? Sometimes we are becoming, I'm sorry to say we, but I am becoming a good speaker of philosophy, but not a practitioner of, my wife is saying. Immediate, spontaneous. Not a practitioner of philosophy. We were never speaking philosophy. But practitioner is, I think the prayerfulness has to increase. Somewhere we are forgetting to pray. Somewhere we are keeping the prayer less important as compared to the philosophy. Somewhere our lectures are becoming very philosophical than prayerful. Somewhere we are not depending on Krishna, seeing what he is doing for us. Lot of reflections, Prabhuji. Thank you for choosing this topic. Let us thank Prabhuji with really loud, enthusiastic. Punchline that you told at the end, I felt that is the punchline. No pain.
No pain.
So we have to accept that pain. We have to accept that pain. Otherwise there is no pain. Chanting is difficult. Tomorrow morning, 6th of April, your chanting bags are same. His fingers are same. Mantra is same. But prayer has to be different. Let us try to make sure that, I know, it will not all transform in a single day, but these kind of seminars, please, let us make sure we repeat those words wherever we are, whatever we learn. Nobody is a preacher here. We're all learning students. So wherever we go, let us, if some devotees are struggling, let us tell to hear this lecture. We recorded it, right? And there are many lectures like this. But then we have to start hearing them. And let us share it. Because this is the real help that devotees need. Today, really effective. This is the real help that devotees need. Is that somebody has to keep telling them that Krishna is the controller, you are not the controller. Becoming, surrender to Krishna is the only solution. Bhakti is in the center. So, I know I'm almost speaking like I'm speaking in class, but that's not my intent. My gratitude to you, Prabhuji, for you coming and accepting our, whenever we invite Prabhuji to Hyderabad, I'm sure you all have shown that love and attentive heart towards Prabhuji. That is the reason he's coming here. And we humbly request that whatever little offenses, mistakes we are continuing to do, please continue to come here. We need you. Right? Do we all need Prabhuji? Yes, no doubt we need. Because nobody else is reminding. We are hearing a lot of things, but this is very most important. And Prabhuji is taking Gopakumara series. Prabhuji and Mataji is telling me, it is unbelievable. If you come tomorrow morning, same time, actually 8:15, right? Tomorrow morning 8:15 it starts. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right? So almost 8 o'clock it starts. Unbelievable. The whole series. If some of you are not able to come, that's okay. It's okay. But make sure you're not missing it. Make sure you're not. You have to listen it somewhat with them, right? And I'm recording that series, but it's not available on internet because Prabhuji said unlisted. Very clear. Why? Because this is exclusively for devotees. Because other people might get a little bewildered or they may not be ready for it. Or there is a test of Krishna. Why Prabhuji told, maybe I don't want to speak why he told, but many reasons behind it. But please make sure you hear it. It's really unbelievable. And couple of other announcements is that so the series is going to continue. 5 more sessions. Whether or not we finish Gopakumara is not the only way to measure it. Maybe Prabhuji may not be able to finish it by next Friday. Right? Maybe it will go again. But that only means that Prabhuji has to come back again and finish it. So, but I don't want, we don't want to request Prabhuji to rush and finish it. Because that's not the point of Gopakumara series. It's not like finish it so we achieved something. We go and tell, yes, we finished Brihat Bhagavatamrita. Hearing to what Prabhuji is saying looks like we cannot finish Brihat Bhagavatam. Because that's a journey of a soul. Right? Even our journey, Narad Muni's journey, Gopakumara's journey, our journey, every journey is the same. But don't miss it. And there are many communities Prabhuji is going from tomorrow. So to make sure you are there in those communities. And tomorrow is Green Grace Apartments. That's where our Bhakti Riksha started in a way, like expanded, like in the houses of Madhav Charan Prabhu, Sundar Keshav Prabhu. And those are the houses where we started going to houses and doing satsangs. Earlier used to happen in my house, a small house. But please come to Green Grace and then please come to Ramalayam in Manikonda by Raja Ramesh Prabhu. Please come to Sunil Prabhu, Vihanga. Please come to, many other places. Aditya Athena, Ankura, Brahmarama Mataji, Brahmari Radha Mataji, Indraprastha Villa, so many places. Prabhuji is giving everything he has. Today, how many hours Prabhuji has already spoken? We can't even believe. We barely, rather my question should be how many hours he did not speak. maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours he did not speak. But since morning Prabhuji is giving classes, but a sadhu is coming and giving everything he has, he's pouring it to us. We only have to receive it. I remember one small incident I'll share, Prabhuji, if you don't mind, please. There was one disciple of Indraduni Maharaj. He went to Indraduni Maharaj and he said, Maharaj, please give mercy, please give mercy, please give mercy, please give mercy. He was going on telling. The disciple shared with me. His name is Vijay Gopal Prabhu. He's a Polish devotee. He's a good friend of mine. So he came and, Maharaj, please give mercy, Maharaj, I'm desperate, Maharaj, please give mercy, please give mercy. And Maharaj simply looked at him and said, I am giving it, you are not taking it. Simple, one line answer, I am giving it, you are not taking it. So mercy is everywhere. Mercy is falling from the sky. We are the ones who are not having the bowl to, catch it, collect it, right? So let's make sure that the next 9 days count. Every single day counts. These 9 days will not come back again. May or may not. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right? 7 days. 7 days, right? So Prabhuji is here for the next 7 days. Wherever Prabhuji is going, let us try to rush there and make sure we find our space before we are told there is no space. Let's make sure we have that space right in the front and hear from Prabhuji. Because Prabhuji is giving us something that we all need. And today's session, last Sunday feast session was unbelievable. And then one more thing, next week we have, see how Krishna is planning. Just see how we are planning. Harivamsha Prabhu, one of exalted Vaishnavas, who speaks Brajakatha at a next level. And he's unbelievable. He was born in Vrindavan, right? And then he went to Stanford, he did a degree in Stanford, California, then he went around. So he is coming for next Sunday feast. Right? And see how Vaishnavas, like to reciprocate and love each other. Prabhuji was supposed to leave on Sunday. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu said, no, if Harivamsha Prabhu is coming, I would like to stay and hear the class. Right? So next week we will have Harivamsha Prabhu speaking and Prabhuji also here. hearing and relishing, and maybe both of them together might share. I don't know. I'm expecting too many things, but yeah. So we have a big Sunday next coming up, and the next Sunday is the time when we get an opportunity to take Radha and Krishna in Nauka Vihar festival. Right? Radha and Krishna Nauka Vihar festival. People are dull or what? What is wrong with you? Where is the happiness? Right? We're going to take Radha and Krishna on the Nauka Vihar festival. Now we are going to show a video. In just after this announcement, we're going to show a video, and there'll be an opportunity for you to serve. Right? Whatever little service in the form of dhan, in the form of man, in the form of seva, whatever you can do. Pavan Prabhu and group from BHL, they are spearheading this. Last year they did it. This year they're going to do it even better. So Prabhuji, is the video ready? Yeah, 1 second. So we're going to have that festival next week, right? And does the ecstasy stop there? It doesn't stop. Krishna doesn't stop. Krishna doesn't stop. The more we serve, the more we hear, the more he gives. And the following week, after the 19th, on 26th of April, Sunday feast, His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu is coming here. Right? Again and again to remind us that chanting is the most important thing. Right? The message is same, different flavors that will come. So Prabhuji is coming here, and this continues. So tomorrow afternoon, for some time near Attapur, His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj is here. So if somebody wants to take his association, run to Attapur. You can get in contact with Satya Srinivas Prabhu and Brahmari Radha Mataji. They'll tell you where to go. It's in Attapur in one of the houses. For some hours, layover is coming. So Vaishnavas are coming. Mercy is everywhere. What we have to do? Take it. Right? And this is the most important thing. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. I took a lot of your time. And you need rest also, I know. You've been here. But I request you to just see the video once, Prabhu, if you can. Just play it on the... Hare Krishna, are you ready? Yeah, very good. Yeah. Why is the sound not coming? Yes. Off it. That day, many came thinking they'll not get wet. Whoever thought they came, on the line. Whoever thought they will not get wet became completely wet. Right? Initially, only they decided some devotees will go into the Koneru and move the boat. After some time, almost everybody was inside the Koneru. And everybody was trying to. And I'm not encouraging you to do it this time, but let it happen as per the procedure. You can do it at the end, so you can show the pamphlet. Okay, so there is a lot of ways we can contribute. We can contribute for the flowers. We can contribute for the arrangements. We can contribute for the generator. We can contribute for the lights. For Krishna, everything is same. Everything is same. And if we all want, the festival will be very, very vibrant. So my humble request, here is Pawan Prabhu. Yeah? So I will send this in the group. And please try to do your part. Anybody spontaneously wants to do anything for Radha Krishna here? Anybody? Huh? You want to do? Yes, Haribol. Karunadaka Mataji. Yes, Haribol. Yeah. No? Harivel, Haribol, Hare Krishna. She wants to give some money. Haribol. Very nice. So please, everybody. There is no auction here. Please come for. Yes, ma'am. Haribol, Hare Krishna. Yes. Everybody reach out. So Prabhuji is going to stand here. Prabhuji is going to stand here. You reach out and tell. You don't have to give it now. You still have some time. But if you write, he'll make a note of it. And then you all can, give whatever. The festival is going to happen. Whether or not we are going to be part of it is our question. First of all, be there to be part of it. And if you can also contribute something, 100 rupees is a contribution. Right? Even 10,000 rupees is a contribution. There is nothing to say that something is big or small. According to your capacity, whatever you give is going to be used for the festival. For Radha Krishna, Nauka Vihar Festival ki Jai. Thank you very much. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad Rad Daine. Chiranya Kashi Purvakshah. Vito Narsimho, Parato Narsimho, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimho, Vahir Narsimho, Hridaye Narsimho, Narasimha Madinkaram Prabhate. Sabakara Kamala Bhare Nakama Singha Harita Hiranya Kashipu Kano Bhanda Keshavadta Dharai Rupa Jaya Jaya Hare Jaya Jaya देव भगवान की, श्रीमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रदिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर जवान बेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रदिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर जवान बेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। ओम श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, पुण्य क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की, गंगे मैया की, यमुने मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, कलिगोपाल तुलसी महारानी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, ट्रांसलेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ट्रांसलेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki, upcoming Nauka Vihar festival ki, your seva in the festival ki, Pavan Prabhu standing here ki, please come and meet here ki. Nitai Gaur Premananda. Hare Krishna, Mataji has got water from Radha Kund, Shri Radha Kund, Hari Bol. Please go and sprinkle, make sure it's sprinkled on you. It is association with Srimati Radharani and Shri Radha Krishna. Yeah. But let it go more personal.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.